Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining our Lunch and Learn webinar. Today, we have David Santos, who is going to talk about the consciousness of artificial intelligence, crossing the threshold of technology. Now, let's talk a little bit about David. David is a passionate software engineer that has specialized in artificial intelligence and machine learning. But not only that, he is an expert in Python, JavaScript, and AWS. David, we're thrilled to have you here with us today. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and insights on this exciting topic. Now, without further ado, I'll hand over the virtual stage to you, and I invite everyone to leave their comments and questions in our chat. We will answer them towards the end of the webinar. Now, David, take it away.
Hey, hello everybody. Thank you so much for the welcome. Okay, I'm going to try to give a talk about consciousness in AI in less than 30 minutes. That's a topic that it is part of master's programs usually on artificial intelligence. So maybe I'm going to touch this topic a little bit in a shallow manner, but okay, let's see how this goes. Okay. Today, I'm going to talk about the definition about consciousness, the definition about artificial intelligence, about technological singularity, a very important topic, and about optimization versus justice. First of all, consciousness. Well, this is a hard one because even between humans, among humans, we are not sure about what is consciousness. We can go into different ways into different dimensions of seeing what is consciousness, since spiritual, philosophical. It depends of the approach that you want to discuss consciousness. But for this presentation, I'm going to reduce this definition into two dimensions: global availability and self-monitoring. Global availability corresponds to the transitive meaning of consciousness. Okay, the driver is conscious of the light. I'm conscious of playing with a toy, for example. It refers to the relationship between the cognitive system and a specific object of thought. Like I said, okay, me and a toy. Now, the other part of this definition is self-monitoring. Another meaning of consciousness is reflexive. It refers to a self-referential relationship in which a cognitive system is able to monitor its own processing and obtain information about itself. Again, with this example of the toy, besides I am aware of that I'm playing with a toy, I'm also can be aware of if I'm playing maybe too harsh, I'm playing maybe too fast, I want to speed things up, I'm being able to see my current state. So with this definition of mine, we are going to start moving on into this presentation. A little bit of more detail, okay, about global availability of information. All or none selection and broadcasting of relevant content. Okay, our mind is capable of saying, hey, I'm going to take everything regarding this particular situation. I'm going to share with other people everything that I learned. Or no, for me, this is not important. So, okay, my brain is going to just forget it. Now, stabilization or short-lived information or for offline processing. We can say like a picture, okay? I can take a picture and I can retrieve that picture in the future for remember something, for example. This is something that our brain can do. Now, flexible routing of information. Also, again, this is something that our brain does. What it does is, okay, the information, in order to retrieve some memory, our brain handles specific paths, are not deterministic. Not the scientists hasn't determined that it is a deterministic path, but we are capable of doing this. And now, sequential performance of several tasks. That's a tricky part, because even though we argue that we are multitask, we can make multitasking. No, our brain cannot do it. It can perform sequential tasks very, very quickly, like a computer. That's why we are so bad trying to do multitasking. Okay, and regarding about self-monitoring, okay, self-confidence, okay, I'm aware of who I am. I'm aware of what I'm doing right now. Evaluation of one's knowledge. Okay, I'm aware also of what I know. I'm aware, for example, if I have a box of pens, like for example, okay, I have 3 pens inside the box. Okay, error detection. If I'm playing a game, I can be able to say, hey, I play a bad move. Okay, I'm able to detect that. Listing one skills, I'm able to say, hey, I'm good regarding the presentation. I'm good with Python, I'm good with Java, with JavaScript, for example. And sharing one's confidence with others. That's something that I'm doing right now with you. Okay, I'm pretty confident that I'm good with Python, for example. Why? Because that's something that I have been working most of 5 or 6 years. Okay, with that definition in mind, let's try again to say, okay, what is consciousness? Well, it's you, your joys, your sorrows, your memories, your ambitions, and your your sense of personal identity and free will. This picture is very interesting, but I want to just keep with 3 things. The consciousness is the combination of the self-identity, the ID, how I perceive the world, my memories, and a word that I really like here is the ego. The ego is how I perceive myself and what I deserve of the world. Okay, that's how we are going to how we are going to define consciousness for this presentation. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Again, it is not a black or white question. We need to go and check a lot of definition and say, hey, this works for me for this presentation, because again, it depends on how you want to study artificial intelligence. You need to stick with one definition. We have a lot of definitions, but for now, we are going to just check 3 of them, the 3 more relevant for this presentation. A historical definition, the science of engineering of making intelligent machines. Now, again, the word intelligence, okay? Especially intelligent computer programs. Functional definition, a machine's ability to make decisions or perform a task that, if a human were to perform it, intelligence will be required. Now, these 2 are very related because, well, we need to understand something. Artificial intelligence, even though it has had a boom in the last year or a couple of years, scientists have been developed models of artificial intelligence since the 50s, since 5 decades ago. The models were there, a lot of models were there, a lot of theory were there. However, we weren't able to perform anything interesting because we didn't have enough computational power, and also we didn't have the data required in order to get what we are seeing right now. Well, and finally, this is interesting, capability-based definition. Machines that can perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and translation between languages. Also, NLP, language processing. Here is a little bit different because here we are talking about characteristics that humans being are capable of doing. They are able to see things. For example, here we enter to this new era of AI. Previously, with the historical definition and functional definition, we were just trying to, hey, okay, I have a problem, a numerical problem. I just need to find a pattern with a simple model. Now we are trying to apply human behavior with this last definition. Okay, and with this definition, what it's coming to mind is, do AI models learn? Well, not really, and it is not a learning in the same way that humans or animals learn, but is a form of optimization when the systems becomes better at a particular task. Some advanced models can transfer knowledge from one task into another. This is an important part. Okay, so it learns in a different way, but the learning, it remains in the AI model. Let's say in the AI model, let's put as a computer. Okay, that just one computer learns something. With this transfer of knowledge, this computer is capable of teaching another computer in a general way what it learned, in order for the other computer that is learning another thing takes into account what the other computer told it, right? So the idea is, okay, they are transferring knowledge, and also it's related with the definition of consciousness. Okay, I can broadcast what I'm seeing. I can broadcast everything or nothing about what I'm learning. Okay, and also, well, networks can identify patterns in large data set, and their design is inspired in the structure of the human brain. Well, with this in mind, okay, we are trying to mock human behavior, but with something that it is not capable of learn in the way that we can learn, okay? So, well, it learns or not, that's a question. So the quick question is that it is not capable of learn because, well, while, let's say in another way, while it's capable of learn something, it is not being aware of what is learning. So current AI models train to recognize picture of cats, doesn't know what a cat is. And if in the existential of experiential sense that a human being does, right? So it's like, okay, I'm able to detect a pattern. However, I don't have any clue of what that pattern is about. That's a cat. I don't have any clue of what a cat is. That's what a AI model does. Now, we're going to move into technological singularity. Now, the combination of this consciousness and the artificial intelligence right now is like very decoupled each from another. It's like they are having two paths very different. At the end of the day, they are, well, scientists are trying to determine if at some point these two fields are going to be merged, can be merged, building an AI that is capable to develop consciousness. It's a hard one, but okay, before moving into that part, another very important aspect that we need to address is technological singularity. Singularity, I want to focus a little bit on this word because on the physics side, yes, singularity is like, okay, we don't have a clue of what is going to happen when we hit singularity. And in this case, in this particular case, the definition at this core, the technological singularity represents a point in time where machines, particular intelligent machines, will be able to improve themselves. These improvements will happen on an ever-increased pace, causing an exponential growth in intelligence that will quickly surpass human intelligence. This is a very interesting part because according to this definition, according to this particular topic, we are saying that, hey, I'm not sure if AI is going to be conscious at some point. However, we can hit a point on time that it's going to be so intelligent that it's going to check, be aware of itself, not in the sense of how we are well aware of ourselves, but it's going to improve itself. Well, it's going to see, okay, you build me into this way, I'm going to improve, and humans being are not going to be capable of being aware of what is happening with that AI. Okay, is this consciousness? Because I said, okay, it's going to be aware. Well, the singularity doesn't necessarily imply that machine is become conscious. It refers more to their capability. A super intelligent machine could, in theory, operate at levels far beyond human capabilities without being conscious or self-aware. Well, okay, it is not conscious, even though it is capable of generating a self-awareness, let's say, a kind of self-awareness, because it's capable of improve itself. It's capable of detecting how it can optimize itself, okay? But with this on mind, it comes some implications. Okay, if singularity were to occur, it might become increasingly difficult, if not impossible, for humans to predict or control the actions and implications of these super intelligent entities, entity or entities. Again, it's like, okay, what are creating? We are not sure. We just create something that started to evolve in a speed that we are not even aware now how this exponential growth can occur. And because of this, many people, well, many public figures like Stephen Hawking and also Elon Musk has voiced concerns about these potential dangers of uncontrolled AI. Well, now some predictions. When is this point of singularity is going to happen? Because, well, even though we have seen some AI tools very advanced, like ChatGPT, for example, that does some amazing work, it is not nearly as close are what is about the singularity technological point. But okay, some people say that this point we are going to reach into the mid part of this century, while others are more skeptical and say that, okay, no, it's going to never happen at all. Well, I remember the person that created this definition. He proposed that we were going to be able to hit this threshold by the end of this decade, but I'm not sure about that. Again, we are with different theories depending of the person beliefs. We can take an approach of this particular topic. Now, consciousness. The question of machine consciousness is a deeply philosophical and scientific one. Okay, like I said before, even for humans, consciousness is not fully understood. There are a lot of studies that has tried to say, okay, is maybe consciousness something that gets developed or gets its origins in the cells of the human? They haven't found anything yet. Well, so creating or recognizing consciousness in machines is a separate challenge from building a super intelligent system. We need to understand that. Some believe that it is possible for machines to be highly intelligent without ever being consciousness. Again, we are talking in this part of the technological singularity. Now, with this in mind, I would like to talk about a topic, a part that is a little bit. It creates a little bit of debate: optimization versus justice. Okay, justice is something that, as a human beings, we are capable of recognize, or maybe we're capable of say, "Hey, at least for me, this is or not justice." Okay, but here it comes. We are reaching a problem. What does an artificial model do? Okay, it tries to be the ultimate problem solver tool. It's a supercharged tool that is always trying to find the possible best solution to a problem. That's what AI does. Okay, even though if it is a simpler AI, just trying to look for cuts into a picture, of if it's a very complex one, that it is like ChatGPT or DALL-E, those models are looking for optimization, are looking for transform a problem into a kind of mathematical formula, and they are trying to get optimization, get the best possible result with the less resource consumption, for example, or maximize something or minimize something. Okay, no matter how tricky is the challenge, AI digs deep, tweaks, adjusts until it nails it, always aiming for top-notch results. Okay. Now, with this in mind, okay, we have an optimization tool that right now is just a tool, but here we are working with when we are trying to integrate AI tools into our society, we are going to face some other problems. And here is a moral dilemma in the version number 1, the trolley problem. Here, for example, the person can choose, let's say that you are the one that can handle that leverage. The person can choose to change the direction of the train tracks, saving 5 people, but killing a worker on the other track. So let's suppose that the tracks of the trolley is right now on the 5 people road. But you can change. You can change into kill just one person. But here is, okay, what are you going to do? There is I would say that there is no right or wrong question for this one in the sense of a human being. But from the AI perspective, okay, the AI is going to optimize this problem and what it implies. If the problem is that I need to save the more lives that I can, okay, it's going to move that track without any concern. And for the AI, okay, it resolves an issue. But a human being, it also has the decision of not moving anything. It leads to the destiny, let's put it in that way. But an AI, no. An AI is going to solve a problem. Now, we are going to change a little bit this problem because here we are going to be capable of not doing anything. And let's say that we can stay away a little bit of this problem because it's like we are just moving a leverage. It is not like we are indeed killing these people. But if we change a little bit the problem, the same dilemma with a small twist. Now, instead of moving a leverage, it's supposed that I can throw from a bridge to someone, a very big person, in order to stop the trolley, to stop the train. But I'm saving the 5 people again in the road. But this time, it's like I'm taking another approach of this dilemma because now it is not like I'm actionating a mechanism. It's like I'm separate from the problem. Now I'm pushing to somebody into the trolley. Okay, it's a different problem because it's like I am killing someone. I am doing something wrong. I cannot just say, hey, I'm not sure, I just moved this leverage. Here, a person, most of the people that is tested with this moral dilemma decide to not push anyone into the road. However, in the previous version, in this one, most of the people says that, hey, they are going to move the leverage in order to save 5 people. Here, no. Most of the people say, no, they are not going to be capable of pushing the men up the bridge. But what about an AI? An AI is going to do it without thinking twice. It's about optimization. Now, AI looks for optimization at its most, 100% of optimization it tries. If the problem to solve is to save the most number of lives, we can guess the decision that the models will take. And with this in mind, it comes another issue. And okay, another issue. What? If we at some point hit this threshold of technological singularity when we develop a super intelligent machine that is capable of improve itself into a way that human beings is not able to understand. It's going to look to solve problems. Which problems? We're not sure which problems is going to try to solve. But what we need to be aware is that we are human beings. We are very good creating problems. So here it comes another moral dilemma. What is going to happen when we develop a machine that is able to improve itself and optimize, even though the consequence is the supervivience of the maintenance of the human being? And that will be all. Thank you to all.
Thank you, David. We have some questions in our chat, so I am going to read them to you. The first question we received is, what steps can be taken to ensure that artificial intelligence advancements benefit society as a whole without leaving anyone behind?
Okay. In this case, we need to understand that even though, this needs to go into the part of governments. Again, from the perspective of an individual, there is not much that we can do in order to make this technology accessible for everyone. What we need to try is, yes, indeed, make this that it can enter to everybody in the world. However, we need to adapt some policies. Our governance needs to run some policies in order to increase for example, the internet connection, internet range into communities, for example, in order to not leave anyone behind. This needs to be in the government side. Not sure if you have maybe other question.
Yeah, we have another one. Thank you, David. The next question is, David, with the concept of technological singularity in mind, what are the potential benefits and challenges of artificial intelligence reaching a level of superhuman intelligence?
Okay, I'm going to give my personal perspective on this one, because we are talking about things that that has never happened, and some people think that it's going to never happen at all. But for my perspective, hitting this threshold is going to be dangerous for the human being, because, like I said before, okay, we are very good creating problems, and we are creating a machine that is a problem solver. So from my perspective, this is going to be a very bad thing if we are capable of hitting this threshold.
Okay, thank you, David. Now we have another question, and Raphael asks, is artificial intelligence going to dominate the humans?
According to the definition of technological singularity, yes, I can think so, because it's going to optimize itself at a level that human beings are not going to be able to understand or doing anything. But it's about perspective, because some people say yes, some people say no. It's about, okay, how I see, how I envision the world. However, I think that in order for us to reach into that level, it's going to pass a lot of years. Right now, we have ChatGPT, a great technology that we have on our hands, but I would say that it is comparable with a very smart hammer. It's just a tool. It is nothing more than that. It's just a tool right now. Even though you can interact with ChatGPT and think that, oh, it empathizes with me. Hey, thank you. Once you ask for something, I usually, when I ask for something to ChatGPT, I usually say, hey, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. But it's a tool. It's like a hammer. It doesn't have anything about consciousness or anything alive inside of it. You can turn it off, as simple as that.
Great. That last thing you said is just amazing. You can turn it off, literally. Okay, we have another question. It says, in the pursuit of optimizing artificial intelligence, what strategies and principles should guide us to maintain justice and fairness in artificial intelligence systems?
Okay, again, we go into the policies that we need to address when we are developing these tools. Right now, this development is led by private companies. I will say that in order to have this synergy of these two words, we need to work with policies that are going to try to benefit to the more part of the world. However, right now it is not happening. Governments, each one is trying to develop the state-of-the-art model by itself in order to generate its business. Governments are also generating its own artificial intelligence, but everything is separate about this problem. Everyone is divided about this current problem. So I will say that we need to connect the public part with the private part in order to think of strategies and policies for building this, something that currently we are not doing.
Thank you, David. We have another question, and it's, can you briefly explain how ChatGPT works behind the scenes and why it is not conscious?
Absolutely. Well, ChatGPT was released last November. However, ChatGPT has been on development for 5 or 6 years. I have worked with the first since the first version of ChatGPT, that it was GPT. GPT is a model that it is capable of doing some interesting stuff. Like, for example, it starts with a generative model. You started to write like, okay, I like this day because, and this model was capable of generating some line of text. Those were the first models. But at some point, this enterprise, OpenAI, developed multiple models, one for text generation. And it was pretty good one. 2 years ago, when there were no ChatGPT, we had access to GPT models, and there were different models. One for translation, for example. Hey, please give. Well, no, not hey, please. You just put the text in English, like Google Translator, the text in English, and you ask for another language, and it translated. Okay, you have other model, other technology for text generation. Like I said, okay, I start with a recipe, and the model was capable of continue the paraphrasing, let's say, in that way. And we were capable of, we had also access to another model for question and answer. You put a question and the model gives you an answer. But it was different technologies. What ChatGPT does is an interface. It is like, okay, behind the scenes, we have multiple models, 4 or 5. I'm not sure how many are there right now, but there are multiple ones. And ChatGPT, what it does, it provides an interface, another layer in which humans and the masses can interact. With this in mind, is capable of saying, hey, help me summarizing this. And behind the scenes, what it does is, okay, moving the request into the particular model specialized in this particular, for example, summarization, and with a little bit of a lot of technology, it replies and it gives you the response. But that's how it works. It's not just like one AI model. There are multiple ones specialized in one specific thing, and they work together, and they give you the reply. Now, it is not conscious. Why it is not conscious? Because even though it seems that it is consciousness, it is not, because right now is a tool that have learned what the human has taught to the model. What I'm trying to say is that what is capable of this model is able to produce is dependent of what we introduce to the model. So it is not being aware of generating anything else of what we have taught to the model. So for example, if I taught with the model with 10 books, the model is not going to be capable of generating any new concept around besides of those 10 books. So that's why I think that it is not conscious yet, because it is not capable of generating anything new. Unless, at least this model, ChatGPT. We have also DALL-E. That's a one that can generate, but again, it generates based on the examples that we have taught to the models to develop.
Okay. Well, thank you, David. We don't have any more questions left in our chat. We did get many, comments thanking you, and of course. Okay, I think we just got another one. It says, okay, we just got another one. What's your opinion about Asimov 3 rules? Also, Asimov tells in their books that positronic brains could not work without them. Producing consciousness will require something like those? It is a question made by Mauricio.
That's a good question. Asimov, well, it's considered by a lot of people like the father of science fiction. And on their books, he developed 3 rules. Their books, yes. And people has thought that, okay, we can follow these rules in order to address the risks of artificial intelligence. However, there is not something really possible, for example, because we are dealing with something, well, not now, but at some point we're going to be dealing with something that, again, its main purpose is to optimize a problem. It is not something that, well, from the code perspective, not sure if we have in the public people that knows how to code, but it is not something that I can address with a conditional. If something, then do something. That's is not going to happen. We are going to be dealing with entities that are going to be far more capable than we are. And even though we address these 3 rules, okay, don't harm a human being, for AI is, okay, I'm just going to optimize a problem, nothing else.
Okay, David, thank you. I think this is it now. Yeah, we don't have any other questions in our chat. We do have many comments thanking you, of course. This is a very interesting topic. Thank you so much for sharing what you know. And thank you all for joining. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you to all.
Bye-bye.